school leaving age and to federate secondary and tertiary education. We believe that this will go some way to help improving graduation rates that Lou has been describing. We appreciate that the raising of school leaving age will take some time to implement, but we could move quite rapidly to the federation of the secondary and tertiary education, and we believe that this would allow a raising of standards, an increased focus on vocational training, and the establishment of curriculum sharing between the two senior schools and Bermuda College. The seventh recommendation is to create self-governing federations around clusters of primary schools and each middle school. We believe this will go some way to offsetting the problems done by creating the middle schools. We also believe that it will help to rapidly align the curriculum and to raise standards. And it will provide, we believe, a secure platform on which to consider further restructuring options in the future. The eighth recommendation is about aligning the curriculum both vertically and horizontally to ensure that there is strong and good progression from primary to middle to senior school. The ninth recommendation responds to concerns about inclusion and behaviour, and we believe that there needs to be more class-based learning support, less withdrawal from lessons in primary schools, and the introduction of more interesting personalised lessons and assertive behaviour policies. Finally, it became clear to us, and this is our 10th recommendation, the strong commitment that the community, the business, that parents have towards public education. And we believe that stakeholders should have greater direct involvement in the management of schools and the support of learning. These then are our 10 recommendations, and we believe that the adoption and implementation of them will result in a rapid raising of standards in Bermudian schools. Of course, this is not a textbook solution. We can't start with a clean sheet of paper, but we do believe that these strategies will actually disrupt the system to a very little extent and actually provide a rapid focus on the learning conditions that will enable every young person on this island to reach their potential.
As the Premier said at the start of this program, reforming public education in Bermuda is a national imperative, and government will not flinch at taking necessary actions which will lead to improved student achievement. I want to add my personal thanks to Dr. Hopkins and the review team, who, after what must have been a difficult undertaking, have produced an objective and incisive diagnosis which pulls no punches. You've heard there are some serious systemic challenges which demand resolution. But the review has also highlighted a few areas which seem to be working well, while making recommendations for tackling our considerable challenges. Earlier today, the Premier and I met with some members of Bermuda's public education family. We outlined the contents of the report, reiterated our resolve to take action, and asked for their support. Tomorrow, at a meeting with members of the review team, they will have a further opportunity to be informed about the review and its recommendations. We in government will continue to study these recommendations over the next few weeks, examine their feasibility, and prioritize their implementation. Starting in the next school year, a number of recommendations will be implemented, and the public will be informed in due course. A number of the reforms will indeed be painful for some. The transition period may not be without its difficulties, but it should be remembered that we have been through some trying times in public education, and we must work toward a brighter future. We want to see schools where teachers teach at a high standard and students are able to learn. The reforms we implement will bring about an improvement in teaching, leadership, and learning. I want to assure all the stakeholders of the Bermuda Public School System, and that really means all of Bermuda, that as we reprofessionalize the system, we will do so in a manner which creates the least amount of turmoil. It should be noted that the review focused on what goes on within the walls of our schools. It does not get into the details of the external influences on the lives of our children. So let me say this: parental involvement must also play a part, and we will be looking at ways in which we can support parents in supporting their children. Our graduation results show that around half of our students are not making the grade. Earlier this year, I set the target of doubling the graduation rate for consecutive years. We remain committed to this target, and I invite the entire community to work with us in supporting our students. The difficulties we are facing must be met head-on if we are to succeed. And we can succeed. We will succeed. I believe we can all rise to the challenge: teachers, administrators, parents, and the community. Education is a business of the entire nation. Thank you, and good night.